Coming up on today's spooky episode of Technoid, Metro dealers and Metro employees and Metro customers, get prepared for even more news because it looks like today T-Mobile is adding a newer section in terms of dealer confidentiality and proprietary business stuff. I'm going to explain it in this video. It is so confusing. And also on today's episode, T-Mobile is no longer going to be giving back roaming for T-Mobile customers, and there will be no more service issue credits starting effectively, I would say, today. And also a quick update on Apple and their lower cost HomePod, and also something that's going on that you're gonna wanna see. All that on today's episode, so stay tuned. Yo, what's happening everybody? Michael here, welcome back to Technoid. And yep guys, Halloween season is upon us. As you can see my background, I'm in a haunted house, I believe, or so it says. Also my intro and outro are officially Halloween themed, so we are finally in the Halloween mood. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves today. Now guys, today's story, again, two of them come from Carlos S. Tech, one of them being picked up from Sneed Mobile Tech, and also just a quick Apple story to throw in there just to kind of diversify. But to new subscribers, if you are considering subscribing, or new viewers, if you are considering subscribing, please do consider hitting that subscribe button and turning on your notifications so you do not miss when I upload. And also to returning subscribers, thank you as always. Make sure you hit the like button. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get it going. So story number one, before we get to the main stories, the Metro and T-Mobile, let me get this Apple story out of the way. Just let's peel the band-aid off, let's do it quick. So according to Mac Rumors, Apple is stopping the sales of headphones and speakers from third-party companies ahead of their rumored small HomePod and AirPod Studio launch. So basically, effectively, Apple is no longer selling headphones and wireless speakers from companies like Sonos, Bose, Logitech. And it seems the reason could be that as we're nearing the October event with the rumored AirPod Studios and possibly a lower cost HomePod, it seems Apple is going to go in the direction of making everything in the store all Apple-based products. Although this could be a temporary setback, there is no confirmation that this is permanent, but it is rumored that they are working on a brand new HomePod and of course the AirPod Studios. So it would only make sense for them to want to stop and push their products versus the competition. But I can tell you right now, we're going to see a lot of people complaining about this, and a lot of people are going to say, Apple is a monopoly, this is unfair, this is so biased-y. And again, it is their store, it is their products, they can do what they want. All right, let's get to the main story. So story number one, let's start with the Metro deal. So guys, as you know, I've been covering the Metro stories again. I've been trying to get on top of this. And according to Carlos S. Tech, we have some more informational documents coming from the Metro side, effectively talking about compensation. Now, a lot of people have been talking about compensation, and a lot of people are saying that the regulations and things are going to change. Well, according to this chart, it seems like new activation and reactivation fees are going up by 60%, and they are subject to change. Feature activation and feature add-ons are also going to be 60% and are feasible to change as well. Now, when it comes to qualification dates, it says here you can retain a third of your money should you stay for up to 30 to 90 days. And then if you go past the 125 and more, you'll get back somewhat a little less of your money. But the one thing that Carlos pointed out, and the thing I'm gonna pick up on, is the activation retention compensation. So listen to this carefully and then I'll explain what it means. Subscriber tenure rule. The subscriber must remain active as a retrified qualification date to be eligible for each payment. If the subscriber is suspended or canceled on the day of the qualification date following activation, then the payment is disqualified. Transaction disqualification of the rule will be displayed in continuations. For example, subscribers must retain active for 95 days before they can get compensation. Basically what that means is if you are somebody that switched on to Metro and you wanted to cancel within 90 days or less, you literally have to be forced to use their network for 90 days, 3 whole months of your time. Should you not like it, you literally have to stay on their network for 90 days to literally get back a third of your money. Does that not make sense? Why would you give them only a third of their money? How does that make sense? So you're gonna force customers to stay on Metro even if it's not good or bad for them? And if they wanna leave, you don't give them nothing? I mean, listen, it's their rules, their policies, but how does that make sense? What kind of company forces people to stay on their networks for 95 days? That is insane. I have never heard anything like that. And if you think that's bad, wait till we get to T-Mobile. But I'm gonna say this, that is terrible. Now listen, I already know there's a lot of problems going on with Metro. I already know there's a lot of problems going on with T-Mobile, but this is no excuse. Why force customers to stay on a network they don't even want to stay on? Now, I don't know if Metro's good. I don't know. I've never used it, but people like it. People can just afford that. But let's say they want to upgrade or they want to just cancel it. You mean to tell me you're going to force them to stay on the network for 90 days just to get back a third of their money? I'm sorry, but that is not fair, and I think that is terrible what they're doing. So thank you, Los, for pointing that out. And guys, God have mercy on your soul should you want to switch in 90 days. And the last story, the main story, the one that is really making the waves, T-Mobile. Now, as you know, T-Mobile has been going around talking about, oh, we're going to create a lot of opportunities, we're going to do this, we're going to do that with the merger, we're going to build out the nationwide 5G, and we can see how well that has gone. That's almost as well as the Doctor Who intro that ages so well from 1963 to now. Although, to be fair, Doctor Who intros are relatively very cool. But in this case, the T-Mobile deal is terrible. It is not living up to the hype that it was, and today's news just broke the T-Mobile community. So according again to Carlos S. Tech, picked up by Sneed Mobile Tech, there is going to be no more roaming for T-Mobile customers, and only on the Sprint side will roaming be used via US Cellular. Now, basically what this means is USA, Comet, and all regional carriers roam on will go bye-bye shortly. Basically meaning that T-Mobile is ending a roaming agreement. They have to fulfill this agreement, but starting whenever this goes into effect, we don't have the legitimate dates, but again, I will leave a link to Steve Mobile Tech's video. He explains it a lot better than me, in my opinion. But basically, the roaming is going to go away. And that's a problem because a lot of people in rural areas and a lot of areas that people live in, they need roaming. They have to use roaming. There's no way around it. The signal is just not good enough. And for them to take roaming away, go against the regulations, but it also goes against literally the consumers. But that's not the tip of the iceberg. Another tip of the iceberg is that they are also ending service issue credits. So if you have service outages, dropped calls, hurricane, or inconvenience, T-Mobile is basically going to say, nope, we're not going to give you credit. We're not going to give you any compensation. Matter of fact, we're just going to give you our employees a piece of paper and we're going to tell them what to read off it. And that's all you're going to get is a BS expense. Now, why the hell is T-Mobile doing this? Well, it's simple. They are cheap. They don't have the money for their networks. This is a fact. This is not my opinion. This is factual. They don't have the money to sustain a good network, so they're trying to save up as much money as they can to get all the money from their customers. And by eliminating roaming, you could literally try to say, oh, now we're building up our network. This is just a terrible news story. This is terrible news from T-Mobile. I don't even know why I sound hype, because this is not good. First of all, it's bad enough that T-Mobile cannot fulfill their promises. Yes, they have made some-ish efforts, but not enough for me to say they've followed through on the merger. And hearing this is terrible news. I don't know how anyone can defend something like this. I don't know if there even is room for defense. How do you defend T-Mobile not giving back to their customers? So you mean to tell me that if I experience an outage for 2 weeks, can't get a hold of anybody, nobody in around, I can't use my service, I'm gonna have to rely on somebody else, and then when it comes back, you're gonna expect me to pay the bill for the time that I didn't even use, and your only response is gonna be, oh, well, we don't give credits anymore, we're just done. What kind of excuse is that? That is terrible. And then the worst part of all is the roaming. Now, Sprint customers can stay on the roaming, but what happens if somebody goes out of reach where T-Mobile can't cover? What are they gonna do? Oh, just no service? See, this is why I am so glad I left T-Mobile, and this is why I'm so happy that Verizon doesn't have any of these issues, at least from what I can see. But this is exactly the reason why people need to stop defending T-Mobile. To the T-Mobile fanboys that are just wearing the pink thongs or drinking the pink Kool-Aid, honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this crap, but to anybody that's just listening to this garbage, how can you defend this stuff? How can you literally sit in the comment section and say T-Mobile is the best, the greatest network of all time? This is terrible, terrible news. Not only is this bad for customers, this is bad for you, this is bad for them, this is bad for everybody. And my only suggestion to this would be, if you're a T-Mobile customer, I would think twice about staying loyal to them, because this is a terrible, terrible situation, and it's only going to get worse. All the videos that I've made about T-Mobile are staying true They are getting worse and worse by the minute. You think it's time to jump off the Titanic? Nope, they're holding on and saying, we're gonna keep going until the ship goes down. Oh boy. Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse. And that's for today's episode of Technoid. Now guys, again, this is a little wild episode, but again, all the news and all the stories, again, link in the description if you want to get more information on this. And as always guys, if you liked the video, hit that like button. If you dislike the video, hit the dislike button. That helps circulate my videos as well. As always everybody, thank you so much for watching. Take care everyone, and peace!